Hey guys, so I'm just getting back from Panama City, Panama, and Cartagena, Colombia, and there's a lot that I want to share. But the first thing and the most important thing I need to share is about my tour guide in Cartagena, Colombia. And his name is Alex. I'm going to introduce you to Alex and his amazing organization. He's an amazing human, and the things he's doing in Cartagena, Colombia are amazing. And if you're ever looking for somewhere different to go or somewhere amazing and you want to learn a lot about the culture, and the culture is so rich in Colombia, in Cartagena in particular, please look up Alex with Experience Real Cartagena.
Hello, this is Alex Rocha from Cartagena, Colombia, and today we are in the community of Palenque. We have a tour company called Experience Real Cartagena, in which we do tours that depict our culture, the black culture, of the Afro-Colombian culture of Cartagena and the whole territory. So welcome to Cartagena, and come and see us here in Cartagena, Colombia.
Experience Real Cartagena is set up by an Afro-Colombian gentleman who was born and raised, to my knowledge, in Cartagena. His passion for the city is unparalleled. He has so much love for his city, the culture there, the history, and for the African influence on the community, in the community, and with the history there. So if you want to go and experience something different in Cartagena, check this company out. It's worth it. It's black owned. It's amazing, and you will feel the difference in this tour because the gentleman is actually from there. He is passionate about it. He loves what he's talking about, and it shows. So it's not just your regular experience, and I can't emphasize that enough. You need to go check out Experience Real Cartagena. That's the name of the company. It's on Instagram. I believe they're on Facebook, and I will be sharing all the information, okay? Call Alex. I'm about to introduce you to the most amazing tour guide you'll ever have. So with that being said, I was able to take 3 amazing tours in Cartagena. Okay, so one of them was an island tour, one of them was the city tour, and one of them was the Palenque Tour. I would recommend all of them. I didn't get to do the volcano, so if you have a chance, do that as well. The highlight, and people ask me, well, what was your favorite part? Honestly, it depends on what mood you're in. The islands are absolutely amazing. The city tour is phenomenal, as well as the Palenque. So do all 3 if you can, but I'm going to give you a little bit of information about all of them, and then you can decide. But I would strongly recommend, if you're going to go to Cartagena, plan on it. Look them up, check it out, plan for it. They take about a half a day each, but they're so worth it. I promise you they're worth it. They're not like any other tour you've ever taken. Stay tuned. So the first tour that I took was the Walled City Tour, or actually it was the Experience Real Cartagena Tour. I believe that's what it's called. It's the city tour, and it gives you the history of Cartagena, and it gives you the slave trade history. It takes you and it walks you through the squares. He knows all of the people. He understands the culture, and he will give you details. There's pictures, there's portraits, there's paintings. It's colorful. We went to the fish market. Amazing. He got us plates of food where we could sample all this amazing food from the fish market. We went through, what their mall, I guess, their local mall was like. He took us through the city where we could see all the different class levels. And there was just so much to it. We went through the walled city, and you got to see the Palenque women dressed in all of their beautiful glory and coming up to you and offering you all kinds of good stuff. But we walked down. We went through history with Alex, and he knows his stuff, but not only does he know it, but it is just so amazing the way that he delivers it. He comes with so much passion and so much involvement. He's involved in his community. He is an activist. He's for his people. He wants the rise of the African community to happen in Colombia. He's just an amazing person, and it translates into this tour. So please, please, please check him out when you have a chance. The city is absolutely colorful and vibrant. You're going to go through murals. He's going to show you the wall art and the graffiti that is just so phenomenal and so profound, and it has so much meaning. And he gives you all the details, and you get to meet the locals as you're passing through. It's pretty phenomenal. So please, if you're in Cartagena, Colombia, contact Alex and at least do one, if not at least these 3 that I'm highlighting.
The black men, they're doing the same kind of job right over there, you know what I mean? Pushing these cars, you know what I mean? Now they are getting paid but it's the same kind of, thing, the system is kind of built to keep you there. I mean, in a cycle of poverty, and abandonment, there.
The next tour I was able to take was the tour to Las Islas del Rosario, the islands of the Rosary. And I guess from an aerial view, the islands shape out and look like rosary beads. That's what that was explained to me. I'm not sure because we just went island hopping, but it was phenomenal. I mean, the waters were blue, the water was warm. The first island we stopped at, there was a fisherman who had just picked up lobster and crab, and guess what? They cooked it for about $8 on the beach for us, and it was delicious. It was fresh, and it was just that homey feel. Like they were just so happy to do it for you, and you're there and you're hanging out and you're with great people on this small tour. So you have a small boat full of people. It's not this massive tour that's obscene. It's a nice number of people you connect with from all over the place, really. So the island tour, it takes you from island to island. And Alex is pretty genius in how he sets it up, because you go from island to island, but the tour guide Malo, who took us on all the tours, was actually from one of the main islands where we stopped and had lunch. So you could also hear his passion and his excitement, and he got to pass by the restaurant where his mom was working, and we all waved at mom, and it's a phenomenal thing to just be able to contribute to these wonderful communities and see how much they care about them and how much they love them, and have them share them with you and welcome you with open arms. It's a gorgeous place to visit, but it's just really warm and welcoming when you get to meet the people and experience those vibes. Island living, it's for me. It's not for everybody. It's a long boat ride. You got to go out there about 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, and back. But it's really, really worth it if you like islands, because it's sandy beaches, it's warm water, it's clear water, it's fresh fish. It's amazing. So check out the island tour as well. So the final tour that I was able to take was the Palenque Tour, and this is a tour where you're taken up into the mountains, and there's a few villages. I believe there's 3. One of them is actually Alex's family's village that was established by runaway slaves back in the 1600s, and their history and their culture and their traditions are so rich, and so currently today these villages have preserved their traditions and their culture. And so when you go through there, it's almost like walking through a village in Africa to a certain extent. So it's pretty phenomenal. There's a tour guide that speaks the language that they speak and also will translate and expose you to such amazing, wonderful parts of his village. And they're so proud and so humble, and it's a beautiful thing to experience. So Palenque Tour, definitely try it out. So in the village that I got to visit, we got to experience so many different things. They tell you the history of their burial ceremonies. They tell you, we got walked down to a river where the kids were playing in the water and they were butt naked, but it was a beautiful thing because that's what they do. We got to meet some of the locals. We got to go to this beautiful woman's home where she cooked us some coconut candy and some yam type bread or cake. I'm not really sure, but it was amazing. And just to see how they live and be exposed to these beautiful people and this culture, phenomenal. Just absolutely phenomenal. But the highlight at the end, not only that, when you're going through the town, they're so proud, and the graffiti and the artwork on the walls and everything really depict this community. It depicts, the history and everything else that they just embrace so much, and they share it through their murals and their artwork. Beautiful art and music and culture. So it's just wonderful to be able to experience it. The highlight of that trip was towards the end, before the meal. The meals are always the highlight, and meals are included, by the way. You get a meal and it's fish or chicken or vegetarian. I'm getting the fish, the whole fried fish every single time. Anywho, I digress. The highlight for me of the Palenque Tour was definitely when we went to the art center and we got to see the children, the young adults perform for us. And they performed these African dances and they performed this beautiful music, and it was this melange of African and Spanish, you know, the history of everything just put into these dance moves and this music, and it was just absolutely beautiful. And they were so warm, and they danced with us and they took pictures with us, and it was just a beautiful experience all around. So I've given you the bare minimum highlights possible, but hopefully enough to entice you into, one, going to Cartagena, Colombia if you haven't been before. And if you have been, go again and try these tours if you haven't, because it will change your entire perspective. I stayed in Boca Grande at the Hyatt Regency, or the Hyatt Residency, and it was a gorgeous, gorgeous property. But to be able to go in and mix with the culture, be inside the walled city, go to Zumba night when everybody comes after church and meets in the square and participate in Zumba and dancing, and just families from everywhere. It's just a beautiful thing. I've learned about their culture, I've learned about their sports, I've learned about their history, and it's just, I want more. I want to go back for more. So if you haven't been, go, and if you've been, try this tour. I'm not usually one to take guided tours, but Alex specializes in Afro-Colombian history, and so we're going through and we're learning it from an Afro perspective, which is amazing. He's an amazing guide, so I'm going to share that information. And it's just gorgeous and phenomenal, and it's rich in history. And so we're learning right now about the slave trade.